Hello and welcome to Study with Sudhir. This is your digital classroom. As part of the Naatu-Naatu series on SWS, I hope you are taking advantage of it, listening to all the videos, taking down notes of all the explanations given as far as history, civics and also English language are concerned. और इसके बाद और भी बहुत कुछ आने वाला है. ये तो अभी शुरुआत है. Okay, so this is the best preparation and testing content for your board exams of 2023. What do we have today? We have something for ISC Class 12 and ICSE Class 10 today, and this can be used by ICSE Class 9 and ISC Class 11 students also. Tenses. And I have picked up PYQs from ISC. So ये ISC level का है, but I found it pretty easy, right? I actually tested it with some of our students on the Ashwin group also yesterday. And most of them were able to get it right. So it's pretty good and they're pretty interesting passages. So why PYQs? Because PYQ से एक आपको आइडिया मिल जाएगा कि किस लेवल का टेंसेस का क्वेश्चन आपको पूछा जाता है. Okay, so let's get started. So irrespective of whether you are a class 9, 10, 11, 12 student, you should look at this so that you understand how it is to be done. What are the few things that you need to keep in mind? किस चीज के बारे में आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा ताकि आप गलती ना करें. Okay, so let's get started. I have 5 sets of these tense passages. आप पढ़ लीजिए. आई होप आई कैन फिट इट इनटू द साइज थोड़ा कम कर देता हूं सो दैट आई होप यू कैन सी दिस. या आई होप यू आर एबल टू सी दिस, राइट? लेट मी जस्ट चेक वेदर इट इज क्लियरली विजिबल. या इट्स प्रीटी क्लियरली विजिबल, राइट? और द लास्ट लाइन इज नॉट कमिंग इन द थिंग. मैं थोड़ा सा कम और कर देता हूं. ओके, नाउ इट शुड बी विजिबल, राइट? Yeah, the entire passage is visible on the screen. Just have a look at it, write the thing, and then we will discuss. One day, a millionaire went to a hotel in New York and dash for the cheapest room. They dash. What dashed the price of the room? He dash. The manager dash him. Is that the cheapest room you dash have? I dash stay by myself and only dash a small room. The manager said, why do you choose a poor room like that? Your son always dashed in our most expensive room. Yes, said the millionaire, but his father dashed a wealthy man. Mine is not, right? So काफी बड़ी बात कही है इस particular passage में. If you're done with the 1 2 3 4 5 6, set A करके लिखो आप. Set A 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then we can compare the answers. I'll wait for another 10 seconds or so. I'll wait for another 10 seconds and then we will get started. ये सारे PYQs हैं. So you get an idea about the level of questions that are asked in the board examinations at the 12th class level. But I found 10th class students were able to do it very well. In fact, that's essentially the thing. You know, even prepositions I tested and my students of class 10 were able to do all the class 12 prepositions pretty easily. Okay, shall we start? One day, a millionaire went to a hotel in New York. Okay. And dash for the cheapest room they dash. Now, see the baat hai, you know, he's talking about it in the past tense, right? So, he went to this particular hotel and asked, okay, for the cheapest room they had, right? They had. Okay. Then he says, now, इसमें गलती होती है. यहाँ पर कुछ लोगों ने, I mean, not my students, but this is where I realized that people would make a mistake. What dash the price of the room? Now, some people would write, some people may make the mistake of writing what will be the price of the room. He's not asking something in the future. Will be, you know, what will be the time by which you will reach home, right? What will be the time when you will reach home? What time will be the exam conducted, right? We are talking about something in the future, but here is asking the price of the room, the tariff of the room for that one particular day or night, right? So here it will be, what is the price of the room, right? What is the price of the room? It is in the present tense. He asked, you know, the millionaire asked the manager, right? The manager dash him. Is that the manager ने उसका जवाब दिया, which means the manager told him. is that the cheapest room? Is that the cheapest room you have at your hotel? And then he says, I dash stay by myself and only dash a small room. You know, what is he going to do? That I am staying, you know, I am staying by myself and only need, you know, there will be no change here, and only need a small room. The manager said, why do you choose a poor room like that? Your son always stays in our most expensive room. Yes, said the millionaire, but his father is a wealthy man, because he's still alive, right? So it will be is, right? His father is a wealthy man, mine is not. Mera baap amir nahi hai, uska baap amir hai, right? So that's what he is trying to say. समझ में आ गया? This is fine. Let's move to the next one. Set B. इसको थोड़ा सा और. Okay, I think you can see this entire thing. Will you just confirm to me? Okay, last line थोड़ा सा कट रहा है, थोड़ा छोटा ही कर देते हैं. Okay, I hope you can see the ones. Okay, 10 seconds, do it, and then we will write set B and then write the answers. One day I पढ़ूं क्या? आप पढ़ लो खुद ही. One day I dashed in the lunch line and there I saw a pile of apples. The teacher in charge dashed at me and said, just dash one, God dash. So I dashed an apple and the line dashed along. At the next table, there dashed a pile of chocolate chip cookies. I dashed what to do. The kid behind me dash all you want. God is watching the apples. Very interesting. I mean, shows the very innocent and the interesting conversation that kids have. I quite like this. Some very interesting passages that they have given in past year board papers. Very interesting. I mean, जिसने भी ये choose किया है different books से, novels से, very good. So one day I dashed in the lunch line, right? What is it? He's talking about in the past tense. One day I dash I was in the lunch line and there I saw a pile of apples. The teacher in charge, what did the teacher in charge do? We are talking about all in the past tense right now. Stared at me and said, just take one. You know, sirf ek apple ko lo. You know, don't take all the apples. Why? Because God is watching. Now, God is watching is something which is happening permanently, right? He is watching. He's been watching you till now. He will watch you in the future and he's watching right now. So God is watching. So take only one apple. Don't take more than one apple. So I took, so I took an apple and the line, what did it do? The line moved along. That is, the next student came and picked up one apple as well. At the next table, okay, there dash a pile of chocolate chip cookies, right? So there B ka, there was, okay, there was a, यहाँ पे pile ये cookies को देके यहाँ पर आप वर मत लिख देना, वो गलत हो जाएगा. It was, there was, because it is qualifying pile, not cookies. Okay, I dash not know what to do. So what is he saying? I did not know what to do. I did not know what to do. Now, chocolate cookies, chip cookies, should he take only one because God is watching, right? Just like the teacher had said that he's watching the apples, that you cannot take more than one. So should he take only one chocolate chip cookie? So he did not know what to do. The kid behind me said, "Sss." What did he do? He whispered. He whispered. He says, dash take all you want because God is watching the apples. Okay, कि God तो भगवान तो apples को देख रहा है, chocolate chip cookies नहीं देख रहा है, तो यहाँ पे जितना मन करे ले लो. Okay, so I hope this is clear. This is essentially in past tense, except for you need to be careful about this one and this one, right? 2 done. Third set. Okay, थोड़ा सा कटेगा शायद ये बड़ा है. Okay, this is about Albert Einstein. This is about Albert Einstein, about his growing up years when he was a child. I'll wait for 10 to 12 seconds and then we can start, or 15 seconds if you please. Are we done? When Albert Einstein dashed 3 years old, this is pretty simple. His parents were very worried. Okay, we will be were worried. We are talking about parents. Were very worried. He dashed intelligent, but had not spoken a single word. So Albert Einstein seemed okay, intelligent, but he had not spoken a single word. कभी बात नहीं किया था. They dash him to many doctors. What will it be? Pretty simple. This one is quite simple. They took him to many doctors who, then what will it be? Who said, what did they counsel? They advised or whatever. So it will be past tense. Who said that they dash nothing wrong with the child. Now here there could be two options. One, you could write found, that they found nothing wrong, or it could also be that they could find nothing wrong. Both are correct. Okay, you can use both. That they could find nothing wrong with the child. Who said that they found nothing wrong with the child, right? One day at the dinner table, Albert Einstein suddenly said, the soup dash is too hot. What will it be? The soup is too hot. He's talking, suddenly said, the soup is too hot. Okay, if it was reported speech, then it will be was. But here it is direct speech, which is why it is. Dhyan rakhna hamesha. The shocked parents dash him, asked. Arey, my handwriting is horrible with this pen. Asked him why dash remained silent for so long. Why he had remained silent. Why he had remained silent for so long. The young child solemnly replied, everything was in order until now. Abhi tak sab kuch theek tha. Abhi tak sab kuch theek tha. Talking about the past tense and therefore the use of was. Okay. I hope this one is clear. Set D. This is the best one. मजेदार है ये बिल्कुल. अरे ये तो मेरे को और भी छोटा करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज फिट नहीं होगा ये पूरा पढ़ो और थोड़ा और है आगे. इनफैक्ट मैं इसको हाफ करके डालता हूं बड़ा इसमें. देन आप पढ़ लो एंड देन आई विल यू राइट द फर्स्ट 6 ones एंड देन आई विल मूव इट अप एंड देन यू कैन रीड द रेस्ट ऑफ इट. ये पहले 6 वाले खत्म कर दो, उसके बाद आई विल मूव इट अप एंड देन यू कैन रीड द थिंग. दिस इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. दिस इज अ हिलेरियस पैसेज. योगी महायोग रूप राजे गौरांग हंगार हंगांगे. योगी महायोग रूप राजे. I hope you can read. पढ़ लिया? Can we start? Okay, let's start with the first one. It's a longish passage. Okay. Should I make it big and thing? As the highway policeman was watching, okay, this is pretty simple. Was है तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. Actually, अगर was नहीं होता तो then it could have led to some confusion. He noticed, उसने notice किया, a car inching along really slowly. There was a car which was coming very slowly. Thinking that an extremely slow car is as dangerous as a speeding one. You know कि जो तेज चलाते हैं, especially on the highway. This is based in America, I think. And someone who is driving very slow, both are equally dangerous. So he pulled the car aside. You know, he asked the car to pull over onto the side. Pull over is one which you should know. Pull over means ask the car to come to the side and stop. Okay. Pull up also means to stop, but pull over is used especially when it comes to the highway. I think 2022 के class 10 के semester 1 में इस तरह का एक question आया था. He dash approached it and noticed that there were 5 old ladies, right? What did he do? Ye sara past tense mein, so it's actually quite simple. He approached it and said there are 5 old ladies, 2 in the front and 3 at the back, looking wide-eyed and white as ghosts. You know, they were pretty shaken and they were looking white as ghosts. The lady who had been, what did it? Had been, so it's quite easy, who had been driving, said, officer, I was not speeding. मैं तेज नहीं चला रही थी. Okay. Why did you pull me up? The officer replied. The officer replied that going below the speed limit was also dangerous for other drivers. That if you drive very slowly, that's also dangerous for the other drivers. Slower than the speed limit? No, sir. I was doing exactly 22 miles per hour, right? I was doing means I was going at that speed of only 22 miles. So here it will be doing exactly 22 miles per hour, the old woman said, proudly pointing to a board. वो board देखो, वहां पर देखो 22 लिखा है, तो मैं 22 miles per hour की speed पे ही चला रही थी. The officer chuckled, that is, he kind of laughed, okay, and said, ma'am, that is the route number, that is not the speed limit. वो इस highway का route number है, highway number 22, that is not the speed limit. Okay, so the woman was a bit embarrassed, you know, कि उसको थोड़ी शर्म आ गई, अरे ये इतनी गलती हो गई, because she was just before that she said it proudly कि that I was following the speed limit, right? I was not over speeding, but now she felt a little embarrassed कि इतनी बेवकूफी वाली हरकत उसने कर दी. So she was a bit embarrassed, and the woman smiled and thanked the officer for pointing out the error. As she started the car, the officer said, before I let you go, I must ask, are these other ladies okay? They seem to be a bit shaken and have not uttered. So everything is in past tense. This is actually quite simple, right? A word. Oh, they will be all right in a bit. We just got off route 119. So इससे पहले का route was 119. अभी कौन से route पे है? 22 पे है. So 119 पे obviously she has driven at that speed, because of which the other 4 old ladies are very shaken, which is why it said they were looking white as ghosts. So I thought it was quite a funny passage. Okay, simple. This is all in the past tense. Set E, last one. Okay, pardon, answer, and then we will get on with it. This is about computers being introduced in the 1980s in India. Correct? Since computers were first introduced to the public in the early 1980s, technology has changed a great deal. The first computers, what were they? They were simple machines. Designed for basic tasks. They dash not have much memory and they dash not very powerful, right? They did not have much memory. You're talking all about the past because you're talking about the early 1980s. You're talking about a good 40 years ago, and they were not very powerful. Early computers, ये 5 है, sorry, okay. Early computers dash for thousands of dollars. Okay, you're talking about how much did the early computers cost. So here it will be were bought for thousands of dollars, and they were machines which actually, what it will happen, did very little. Duka did. Most computers were separate. Individual machines dash mostly as expensive typewriters or for dash games. Now out here it will be used ka thing, individual this thing used mostly as expensive typewriters or for playing games. Now computers dash become ko use karna hai. Powerful machines and programmers dash create useful applications every single day. So now computers have become, now you're talking about the present day, okay, have become powerful machines and programmers, right? What are they doing? They are creating useful applications every single day. This is, you're talking about the present, what is happening now. This entire thing is about the past. I hope you found this particular video on tenses useful and have understood why is it so necessary to kind of follow a particular pattern of the tense. Always read the passage, I would say 2 to 3 times. 2 to 3 times, because it would be pretty sad if you make a mistake even with 1 or 2 and unnecessarily lose marks. So पूरे पैसेज को 2 या 3 बार ही पढ़िए, अपने टेंसेस को उसमें बीच में लगाइए, वर्ड्स को, एंड सी वेदर इट इज फ्लोइंग वेल, वेदर पहले के पार्ट से और दूसरे के पार्ट में आरंट यू जंपिंग, और अगर जंप हो रहा हो तो इस तरह के जंप इज फाइन, वेर यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट पास्ट टेंस about the 1980s initially and then you are moving to the present day, then it's fine. But अगर उसके बीच में आप पहले past में फिर present में then past में वापस जा रहे हैं, then it's a problem. You should be able to see whether it is kind of following a particular tense and conveying a particular idea using the right verbs and tenses. So that is what was the idea behind doing this. I hope you found this useful. Thank you very much for watching.